DJ Storms, and in just 24 hours, live on pay-per-view, the Cleaner and the Cowboy will square off one-on-one in the finals of a tournament set to determine the #1 contender for the world crown of the white, black, and gold brand. Also, two teams, two different styles, two different journeys will meet in the squared circle to determine who is truthfully the best tag team in the world. And finally, a Mad King and a Lone Wolf, a Death Rider, will square off one-on-one for the world crown in a match in which the only way to win is to make your opponent swallow their pride and utter the oh-so-infamous words, "I quit." But before it is time to settle the dispute of who is the best tag team, before it is time to say the words "I quit," before it is time for AEW Full Gear, it's time for the rundown! Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another video right here on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, Wait for it, to mankind! I don't know why I did it like that, but regardless, this is the official rundown for AEW Full Gear 2020, which of course is streaming live tomorrow night on Bleacher Report and all pay-per-view platforms, with the buy-in pre-show starting at, of course, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much for coming back to the channel and chilling with your boy DJ Storms on this Friday afternoon. And as always, I am not alone here for yet another pay-per-view rundown. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time ever on the DJ Storms channel, he's a lifelong wrestling fan. He is one of the newest members of the DJ Storms posse. Please help me welcome to the channel, little Stevie. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Oh, man. I am very, very, very intrigued for Full Gear. Very, very excited for the pay-per-view. By the looks of it, on paper, it is really looking to be the best AEW pay-per-view of 2020. And possibly, if they play their cards right, it could end up outdoing Full Gear from 2019. And I said that Full Gear of 2019 was the best AEW pay-per-view to date. So it's definitely going to be an interesting night. It's going to be a night of many surprises. Even though a lot of matches seem a little predictable, there is definitely going to be a lot of intriguing scenarios and a lot of intriguing routes that they can go as far as Full Gear goes. But dude, I'm happy to have you on the channel for the very first time. It's I've listened to you for a while. And I've seen your takes on Twitter, and we've had a couple conversations, and I love the analysis that you bring to the table about professional wrestling. Very in-depth. You know how to dissect shit. So I'm very, very happy to have you here, and it's going to be a real good time here on the rundown. And hopefully we'll be able to do this again sometime. But anything you would like to tell the members of the DJ Storms posse?
A couple of things. For one, like you said, I am Lil Steve. I am the ace. I'm the best to ever do it. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I'm going to blow it out the water. You're going to think I'm a natural the way I do. I'm a natural born. I'm natural good at everything I do. Basketball, football, anything I want to do, I can do it better than anybody. First time, first try. Just say that. Just get that out the way. I'm the wild card. I'm the jack of all trades. You need something done, you come to me. It's just that simple. But bold prediction, though. I do believe this will be the best pay-per-view of the year and the best pay-per-view AEW has put on since they've been in business.
All right. Big bold prediction right there. But first things first, obviously, before we get into the festivities here on the rundown, first things first, please follow me on the Twitter sticks at HistoryMakerDJS. You'll find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Follow me on Instagram and Periscope at the DJ Storms. Add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is stormstakeover@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page. And I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms posse group on Facebook. That is. All the links will be in the description. One more thing I actually do want to mention. The Lightning Flash update from Halloween. You guys absolutely fucking killed it there. I was not expecting many views and many likes on that video, but it actually turned out to be the best Lightning Flash update since the beginning of August. So I definitely got to give you guys a shit ton of credit there. You guys absolutely knocked it out of the park there. I believe it's over 230 views. It's over 40 likes. It's been doing really, really well. If you missed it, the link is in the description. Please go check it out. Please go leave a like. It did excellent. I was not expecting it to do that well. So thank you all who came in the clutch and watched the stream, whether it was live or whether you caught the replay of it. Of course, the Lightning Flash update is live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Before Full Gear, we're going to chill, hang for about 3 hours like we always do every Saturday for Full Gear. And we are going to dissect 7 weekly wrestling shows as per usual. We got news on Kylie Rae's retirement from professional wrestling as well as news on Raquel Gonzalez and how WWE sees her as a major player, though I don't know why. We'll be dissecting that as well. We are about 7 minutes into the video, and if you guys haven't liked the video, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, come on, it's little... Yeah, exactly. Come on, it's little Stevie and DJ Storm. So if you haven't liked the video, like the fucking video, because I am trying to get into the eyes of many other people. I'm pretty sure little Stevie wants to get into the eyes of many other people, because he wants to show us why he is the ace in the hole. He wants to show us why he is the best of the best. Even though we're not talking about Survivor Series, we still the best of the best here. Just pointing that out there. Exactly. So like the video. And when you like the video, you gotta keep the chat going, obviously spark up the conversation, share the stream out on all platforms of social media, and of course, when you share the stream and when you keep the chat alive, you got to hit the subscribe button. As I am trying to grow, I am trying to expand, I am trying to get into the eyes of many people, as is my man Stevie right here. So please hit the subscribe button, and when you hit the subscribe button, be sure you hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combo and this beautiful mustache right here. Do I have it? Do I have it? I do have it. Of course I have it. When do I not have it? There you go. Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. Anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We're going to get straight into the matches right here. We're going to dissect the buy-in pre-show match first, which is Serena Deeb versus Allison Kay for the NWA Women's World Championship. This was originally supposed to be Orange Cassidy and John Silver before that got moved to the main show. Now we have a Women's World Championship match between Serena Deeb and Allison Kay on the buy-in pre-show. And I'm actually very much looking forward to this match for a couple of reasons. We got the unofficial yet official partnership between the NWA and AEW. I love the fact that they have been utilizing women from NWA on AEW to give us some great women's wrestling. Even though there's not much story, there is a lot of good women's wrestling within NWA's women's roster. Serena Deeb is very good. Allison Kay is great. It's definitely a way to gain more exposure in the women's wrestling department for AEW. And on top of that, it puts more eyes on NWA. So if we do see an official partnership between NWA and AEW. I would like to see some wrestlers from AEW on NWA. I would love to see some more wrestlers from NWA on AEW. I would like to see women like Serena Deeb and Allison Kay as official members of the AEW women's roster. I think that they have a lot of assets that would benefit the women's division immensely. I do believe we are going to get a very good women's match for the buy-in pre-show right here. Allison Kay, I haven't really kept up to date with Allison Kay much since the second Mae Young Classic, where she was originally defeated by Mia Yim, I believe it was, and she did not end up signing with the WWE. Mia ended up signing with the WWE, so I'm not sure where Allison Kay currently stands. I heard she's been doing some decent material over in NWA, so I'm very interested to see how her style meshes with Serena Deeb's style. And I do see Serena Deeb retaining the NWA Women's World Championship. This should be a very nice showcase for the women of NWA. And in a sense, I guess you could say the NWA Women's World Championship has kind of had more of a spotlight than the AEW Women's World Championship. Obviously, we know that women's wrestling isn't their main priority right now, so I feel as though they're kind of just putting women's wrestling out there to give us some good women's wrestling. We did get a damn good match with Layla Hirsch and Serena Deeb, I believe it was last week. So they do have the assets to give us a strong women's division, but they haven't really been giving the women that much story. But I do feel as though we're going to get a damn good women's match here between Serena Deeb and Allison Kay. And I see Serena Deeb walking out victorious and retaining the NWA Women's World Championship. No way you're going to have Serena Deeb lose the championship just 2 weeks after winning it, especially on a pay-per-view that's not even for their own promotion. So I'm going to toss it over to you. Stevie, give me your expertise, analysis, and prediction on this match.
You hit everything on the head, most likely. Women's wrestling has really been seen on AEW television a lot. The women's championship hasn't really seemed important. It really has been an afterthought. Most people probably forgot she's even the champion right now. But the NWA, they have a really deep and nice women roster. And I'm happy that AEW is actually using them, and they're actually being able to use them. And they put them first because I believe they're going to give them a good solid 6 to 10 minutes to really just go out there and just show what women can do. It hasn't been a priority. And I think they're going to let them go out and just do what they want to do and let them get over in the ring, basically.
Now, who do you see winning this?
I see Serena Deeb winning this. It's going to be a nice back and forth match. I see Allison Kay getting a lot of offense in, a lot of near pins in, but I don't see her winning. I see Serena Deeb taking it in about 8-10 minutes.
Would you like to see Allison Kay as a permanent member of the AEW women's roster in the near future?
I want to see both of these women as key staples in the division. They don't really have a deep roster right now. They have a lot of women, but they're not using a lot of women right now. They have 4 who hasn't been used. Statlander hasn't came back yet. It's a lot of women that they have that they just haven't really been using. And these 2 women can make a good impact on the women's roster.
So we're going to move on to the main show, and we're going to talk about the match that was originally slated for the buy-in. Now it's put on the main show. It's Orange Cassidy and John Silver. Now, I understand a lot of people's concerns, and I know that you've heard about this, bro. How a lot of people are a little disappointed that Orange Cassidy is not in the TNT Championship title match at Full Gear with Cody and Darby. And I understand that he's had probably the best breakout year out of anyone in AEW. He's definitely been the breakout star of AEW because we already know how good MJF is and how good Jon Moxley is, how good Cody is, or Kenny, Hangman, Sheeta. Like, we can go on and on about these individuals, Brody even as well, but if we're going to talk about someone who really came from nothing, someone who really was on the indies and came up through the rankings and became probably the hottest thing in all of professional wrestling right now outside of Roman Reigns and the new Tribal Chief gimmick, Orange Cassidy, yes, I understand. He's had probably the best breakout year out of anyone in AEW, But realistically speaking, if you think about this, if Orange Cassidy was in this position with Cody and Darby, then he would more likely than not lose, because Cody's not losing that title anytime soon, because they have been teasing Brody Lee coming back for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Brody and Cody are 1-1. The feud is far from over. And a lot of people have been calling blood and guts for the Dark Order and the Rhodes family, which I understand. That would probably make a little bit more sense. I would not mind that. And yes, they don't need the TNT Championship, but I don't feel as though that they would have Brody Lee get teased so much and not come back to get his revenge on Cody. So at the end of the day, Cody's not losing that championship unless it's to Brody Lee. And they could give Darby the shock win. Now that's a possibility, and that could end up being one of the unpredictable surprises. But at the end of the day, if Darby wins, Brody comes back to get his revenge on Cody, and Brody beats Cody, then he goes after Darby. Darby could end up being a transitional champion, and I don't see that happening for Darby. So if anything, Cody's not losing that championship anytime soon. Brody Lee's going to come back in the next few weeks, possibly the next month, and take the title back from Cody. As far as the TNT Championship and Orange Cassidy goes, I would much rather have Orange Cassidy in an undercard match where he's going to win rather than in a big match where he's going to lose. Now, obviously, he's bulletproof and he'll be fine if he loses. Everyone loves Orange Cassidy. But in a scenario like this, I would keep the momentum on pay-per-view going for Orange Cassidy. I wouldn't put Orange Cassidy in a match on pay-per-view unless he's going to win. And in this case with John Silver, he is absolutely going to win. He beat Jericho twice. He beat Jericho at All Out, and now you put him on Full Gear. If you're going to put him on Full Gear, put him in a match where he's going to win. Don't put him in a big match just because, oh, it's Orange Cassidy and he deserves to be in a big spotlight. No, he's going to lose. John Silver, obviously, we know he's very underrated. He had a lot of great spots in that Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match a few weeks back on Dynamite. I do expect this to be a very, very, very good match. I do expect Orange Cassidy and John Silver to definitely bring their A game to the table. You know that this is going to be a match that people are going to watch out for. A lot of people weren't expecting much from Pac and Orange Cassidy at Revolution. That turned out to be one of the best matches of that specific pay-per-view. So I would not sleep on Orange Cassidy and John Silver. I say we're gonna get a damn good match here. Again, I understand those who want to see Orange Cassidy in a bigger match on a bigger platform. But again, if he was put in the TNT Championship title match, then he was going to be slated to lose anyway. So I would much rather have him in this match where he's going to win. And I'm going with Orange Cassidy to beat John Silver. I expect a very nice back and forth from them. It could end up being the sleeper match of the night. So I would keep an eye on this match. I'm going to throw the ball back over to you, bro.
Me and you had discussions about this. I am a huge fan of John Silver. I think he's pretty much how Orange Cassidy was when the company first started. John Silver is really an unknown, but if you really watch his work, he can really work. Like, he's really strong. He's really strong. He's a high flyer. He's agile in the ring. He can actually wrestle in the ring. He has a really good fundamental. He has a really good foundation of a wrestler. And I do think this will be a match of the night candidate. It's not going to be match of the night. It's going to be Hangman and Page, of course. But it's going to be a really great match. It's going to blow a lot of people away. I can see it being goofy to start off with and them just having fun and doing them. But then I see it really picking up towards the end. And people are really going to see what John Silver can really do in the ring.
Now, who you see winning this match?
I see Cassidy winning. I agree with you. I don't think he belongs in the TNT title situation right now. He obviously belongs because he's Orange Cassidy. He can be TNT champion tomorrow and everybody be okay with it because it's Orange Cassidy. But you can't just hot shot to a guy because he's the hottest thing out right now. You have to stick with your game plan, go what you have planned, and go for the end term, because Orange Cassidy is not in the end term goal right now with the TNT champion. I see either, like you predicted, Brody Lee coming back and getting revenge. I can also see them going with Lance Archer. They have a long history with Cody and Lance Archer. Lance Archer, he deserves some gold, and I don't see him factoring into the world situation no more right now. So TNT title, he can do that, and he can have a nice little run with it. But I also have a sleeper in Pac. I'm also a big fan of Pac. Pac came back. He said he's getting stronger and faster, and he's just been getting better. So I can see him coming back, and after a couple more defenses with Cody, I can see them giving it the pack. I can see them doing a lot of things with this, but Cassidy is not one of them right now. I see Cassidy winning it from like a Pac or like a Brody Lee or like a Lance Archer went on their last leg of the ring. But as of right now, I don't see him factor into any title situation at all.
So where can you see Orange Cassidy going after this? If they do a blood and guts, do you see Orange Cassidy potentially on Cody's side? Because if so, they're probably going to have to do like a 5-on-5 for the Dark Order and the Nightmare Family. So it would probably be Brody Lee, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds versus Cody. We got Dustin Rhodes. We got QT Marshall. They could possibly throw Orange Cassidy in there, and then they have one more person. So maybe they could throw someone like a Scorpio Sky in there. That's definitely
I was thinking somebody like a Darby Allin. Darby Allin has a lot of respect in the back. We already know his relationship with Jon Moxley. They have a big respect for each other. But I think after this match, this will be their third match, and Darby is going to take Cody again to his very end in the third match. And I see Cody getting a respect for Darby. I see him getting a big respect for him. And then if they do go to bloody guts with the Dark Order, with the Dark Order, I see Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin going into the match.
That actually wouldn't be a bad decision, and that type of match would definitely favor Darby. And we'll talk about Cody and Darby later, but we are Orange Cassidy across the board here. We're going to move on to the next match, and we're going to talk about Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, the Elite Deletion. This is the match that I actually believe could start the main show, and to be quite honest, it would probably be the best decision here for Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. And I really wasn't too keen on it at first, simply because of their track record and how something usually always goes wrong with Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, whether it be a brawl or a tables match or the broken rules match at All Out. So right now, I think the Elite Deletion, the cinematic match feel, that is definitely going to aid this match, where it's pre-recorded and they can rehearse the spots so that way no one gets hurt. And I feel as though this was probably the best way to end the feud to begin with. Broken Rules match, it pretty much was a last man standing match, so at the end of the day, it really wasn't nothing that we haven't already seen before. So this match is definitely going to make up for the scary botch that we saw back at All Out. And it being cinematic, you know that we're going to get a lot of creative material from Matt Hardy and the Broken Universe. Matt Hardy, undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best creative mind in AEW backstage right now. Sammy Guevara, obviously this is going to be a big hit for Sammy Guevara considering how young he is, and the fact that he's a part of something like the Elite Deletion with a guy like Matt Hardy, it is definitely going to help him in the long run. I don't see him winning, unfortunately. And to be quite honest, I kind of wish that he would win, because he hasn't gotten a win on pay-per-view. But I am going to hold my thoughts there, because again, Sammy is young. He's got all the time in the world to win world championships. He's definitely going to be a TNT champion. And by that time, he's going to use that to catapult himself into the world championship title scene. But right now, Sammy Guevara, I feel as though he is kind of stuck in limbo. He's kind of stuck in a position where there's a lot of individuals who are ahead of him, so he's not factoring into any championship title contentions as we speak. But as time goes on, I do feel as though Sammy Guevara is going to grow, he's going to mature, and he is definitely going to factor into a lot more championship title matches as the years go on, possibly by the end of 2021, maybe 2022 as well. As far as this match goes, Matt Hardy is definitely someone that I can see in the TNT Championship title hunt. He wins the Elite Deletion, and Brody could come back, he could beat Cody, and I could see Brody and Matt Hardy going at it one-on-one for the TNT Championship. Maybe Matt Hardy joins Cody and the Nightmare Family in Blood and Guts. That's another thing that we could take into consideration. You never know. But as far as the Elite Deletion goes, I see Matt Hardy coming out victorious. I feel as though we're going to get a lot of creative material. We're going to get the Lake of Reincarnation. We're going to get Senor Benjamin. We're going to get the Mower of Lawns. We're going to get Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat. We're going to get a lot of creative material from Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. I'd love to see a Spanish fly off the Hardy family compound, off of the house. I'd love to see that from Sammy. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I'm going with Matt Hardy to retain. Well, Stevie, what say you?
I actually have Sammy winning. Actually, you want
really?
Yes, because if you really watch Wednesday, Sammy was really impressive in that tag team match. He got a lot more open spots. He got a lot more offense than he usually gets. And almost because it's just really like him getting him looking strong going into his match, because he didn't take the pinfall or the tap out at all either. He got knocked out by Matt Hardy. But he's been looking really strong lately. He's been really vocal. He's a whole new Sammy. Like, usually, like, before he got suspended during that whole mess, he really wasn't as talkative. He was really with the cue cards with Jericho singing the theme song. But now, like, he's more vocal. He's more, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. He's talking more of a big game. He's actually going to the ring and backing it up. He looks really impressive against Wardlow and MJF. So I see him actually defeating Matt Hardy and getting him his first pay-per-view win and actually really pushes him.
So, if Sammy wins this, where would he go? Do you see him possibly challenging Cody for the TNT Championship in the coming weeks of November?
I do. I see him going against Cody and losing, but I honestly see him going to a feud with MJF, actually. He already has said that he doesn't want MJF in a circle. I'm just going to spoil it. I'm sorry. I have MJF winning later, so I think he will join the Inner Circle.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
And I think Sammy I think it rubs Sammy the wrong way, and he'll have this internal beef with MJF every other week, and it's going to lead into a big match, or it's going to lead until MJF is going to say, hey, Sammy, you got a problem with me, I have a problem with you. The Inner Circle's not big enough for both of us. You go with me one-on-one, the loser has to lead the Inner Circle. Something like that, and then Sammy ends up getting kicked out. I see MJF really destroying from inside out, and I think it starts with Sammy.
That's actually a very interesting theory, and we'll talk about Chris Jericho and MJF in a little bit, because that right there, that's actually one of the matches with the most unpredictability on the card. Now, where do you see Matt Hardy going after this, should he lose?
He's going to lose, and I see him going into the broken gimmick. I know he said he wanted to save it. There's no fans right now, so it's going to be I see him going back into his little broken gimmick. I see him going against guys like Cody. I see him going against other guys. I don't really see him in a big feud right now. He's not really I don't really think he's there for all of that. I think he's really there to help younger talent and win matches and wrestle and have fun, but I don't think he's really there to win titles right now. That's not in the plans as of right now. So I see him just, lingering on, and he's in that space you said same as it. He's in that little limbo spot. Like, you don't know where he's going to go, stuff like that. So I don't really see him factoring anything much right now. Probably going against Brody Lee. I can't really think of anything right now. Probably has a feud with Pac. I can't really think of anything on top of my head.
Hardy and Pac, I definitely wouldn't mind that, especially with this new gimmick that Pac has, as we saw on Wednesday. I'm not really sure what that's going to result in, but it's definitely something intriguing. It's definitely something new and innovative for Pac, since he's been pondering in isolation and he's slowly drifting into madness. And Matt Hardy, we all know that Matt Hardy, we like to look at Matt Hardy as a creative mind, but Matt Hardy presents himself like a crazy man with the broken gimmick. So that should actually be a nice back and forth if we actually do get a match between Pac and Matt Hardy. It's definitely going to be an interesting scenario, but he has Sammy winning. That's definitely going to be a match that we're gonna have to bet on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next match. We're going to talk about Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose. This is for the AEW Women's World Championship. Obviously, yes, we know that this match has really not been much of a showcase. This match has really been built up more on Dark than it has on Dynamite. Obviously, that's why you got to watch Dark, people. But, obviously, we know that the women's division has really not been a priority, considering that they have a very lackluster roster, considering that, You have a lot of individuals that are quarantined overseas. Women like Riho, women like Yuka Sakazaki, women like Sadie Gibbs. Well, she was released. But Shauna as well. Shauna is a great women's wrestler. Chris Statlander's out with injury. So obviously the women's division has taken a lot of blows this year with COVID and obviously with Chris Statlander's injury. Hikaru Shida is the women's world champion, rightfully so, because she is the best women's wrestler in the division. She's their version of Asuka. Nyla Rose, I'm telling you, Nyla Rose, despite the fact that this match really hasn't gotten much of a showcase, Nyla Rose and Shida, they are two great women's wrestlers. Nyla Rose has really come into her own. Nyla Rose has had probably the two best women's matches in all of AEW women's history thus far, with Riho and Shida respectfully. Nyla Rose is challenging Shida for the Women's World Championship because she is ranked number 1. So I can't really be mad at the fact that Nyla's ranked number 1 and she's challenging because wins and losses matter. And that's definitely something that needs to be implemented more in pro wrestling. But this is the rematch from Double or Nothing. I do see these women putting on a damn good women's match. Yes, it is predictable, but it does make sense, so I can't really complain about that there. I really do hope that they really start showcasing the women of AEW a little bit more rather than the women of NWA a little bit more. I do see Shida retaining here. I do see Shida probably getting one more interim title defense between now and Revolution. And then, when the time is right, at Revolution in February, I do see Britt Baker, since they've been building her up. Britt Baker has definitely looked great in the last few weeks. Britt Baker has been built up very, very nicely. And when this is all said and done, by Revolution, I do see Britt Baker becoming the AEW Women's World Champion. She is probably the best women's heel in the division outside of Nyla Rose as we speak. So, come Revolution, Shida's time as Women's World Champion will be up, and I see Britt Baker taking the title from Shida. But now, we will see Nyla Rose and Shida go at it for the second time, and I see Hikaru Shida defeating Nyla Rose to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Little Stevie, the floor is yours.
We have another disagreement, man. I actually have Rose going over. I think putting Vicky with Rose is pushing her in a way. You need to put her on dominant heel. It's a lot of baby faces on AEW women's division right now. You have like Big Swole. I think Penelope Ford is really kind of a baby face because everybody really loves her. She doesn't really do anything heelish in the ring. You just have a lot of women who she can feud with. And I actually see them having her run through the whole roster. And then once Thunder Rosa really gets under her control, I see them giving it to Thunder Rosa. She has a nice little reign with it. Then, like you said, probably at Double or Nothing next year, probably Fire Fest, they give it to Britt Baker.
As of right now, Thunder Rosa is under contract with NWA until the end of 2021, so we're probably not going to see her too much on AEW in any more championship scenarios. So as we speak, what'd you say?
You said what?
No, what'd you say?
Oh, the only reason I think Thunder Rosa will do it is because I feel like AEW and NWA they do have a real partnership going on, and I don't think they're mind sharing Thunder Rosa here and there. I don't think they have a problem with it. I don't really see her. I don't know. I just see them doing something big with Thunder Rosa because when she was being on AEW, she was used in a big part. They was promoting her. They was giving her big matches. They was really hyping her up. And I really do see NWA and AEW coming to an agreement and letting Thunder Rosa wrestle. I'm not saying it's going to be next week or they're going to throw her right in a few. I see Nyla Rose having a 4 or 5 month reign, just running through every woman on the roster, just running through them. And I think Thunder Rosa will take her down eventually, and then that will lead to Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
I do feel as though Nyla Rose is going to be an AEW Women's World Champion again, but I don't feel as though it's going to be now, considering how dominant Shida really has been and how much of a stranglehold that Shida has had on the Women's World Championship. You're not just going to give the Women's World Championship to someone like a Shida, who is undoubtedly the best women's wrestler in AEW right now, if you're not going to keep it on her to use that momentum to put over a new star. Britt Baker has probably been the one woman who's had the most showcase in the women's division outside of Shida. And yes, you're right, putting Vicky with Nyla is pushing her. But as we speak right now, I feel as though they were biding their time with Nyla and Shida too, considering they know that they don't have that many women with the roster as of right now to go up against Shida because of the injury to Statlander, the women who are quarantined overseas. You know what I'm talking about. So at this stage, I really don't see any reason why Nyla Rose would get the Women's World Championship back. Why take it off of her if you're just going to give it right back to her 6 months later? So at this stage...
I think it was only so they can actually showcase Shida a little bit more, because it was getting a little boring with Rose because she didn't have anybody. She literally didn't have anybody. So they had to give it to somebody else, to end my honestly. But
you can't really say that, because if you take a look at it, they didn't really have a chance to actually showcase what Nyla Rose can do because of the pandemic. Because when this pandemic first started, everything was put on lockdown, and Nyla Rose didn't even have an opportunity to showcase to us what she could actually do, because they pre-recorded like 5 episodes of Dynamite for the entire month of April. Everything was shut down in April. So at the end of the day, the one thing that hampered down Nyla Rose's championship title reign was the pandemic. And then they had Shida. And if they didn't give the title to Shida at Double or Nothing, based off of how they built her up and how she was winning match after match after match after match, if she lost, then that wouldn't have really made sense. And it really wouldn't have made the next match between Nyla Rose and Shida that much more exciting, because they literally put everything into that no disqualification, no countouts match at Double or Nothing. So it would make sense for Shida to come out victorious based on how they built her up. But Nyla Rose didn't have a chance to showcase what she could do with the Women's World Championship because of the pandemic. So you can't really blame them not having anyone. Well, you're right, they didn't have anyone because of the pandemic, and that's the reason why Nyla Rose didn't really have anyone else but Shida. And on top of that, they booked Shida like a dominant figure. She kept winning and winning and winning, whether it be tag team matches or fatal 4-way matches or simple one-on-one matches. She was on the biggest winning streak out of anyone in the women's division at that time. So they had to give it to her. But Nyla Rose, she was kind of shafted because of the pandemic. But right now, Nyla Rose, I do see her becoming champion again, but I don't see any reason why you would take it off of Shida at this rate, considering how great Shida is and how the best wrestler in the division should always be the champion of that specific division. That's why Jon Moxley is the world champion. That's why Cody's the TNT champion. That's why FTR are the world tag team champions. So at the end of the day, it would make the most sense for Shida to retain.
So where do you see Nyla Rose going after this match?
I do see Nyla Rose being used to help get others over for the time being. I feel as though women like Britt Baker or Big Swole, Statlander when she comes back, I do see a feud between Statlander and Nyla Rose when Statlander comes back, and that could be Statlander's catapult to getting a Women's World Championship match at All Out of 2021 against Britt Baker. I feel as though Britt Baker's going to have a nice 6-month reign with the Women's World Championship, and then she's going to drop it to Chris Statlander at All Out Labor Day weekend of 2021. Nyla Rose right now, I do feel as though she will be Women's World Champion again, probably by the end of 2022, depending on the landscape of the women's division, depending on the women that they have in the women's division, whether they sign some from NWA, whether they bring some in from NXT, depending on whose contracts are up. It's a very unpredictable scenario, and I feel as though that should make it a little bit more interesting to see how it plays out, considering how AEW has built a good track record with its audience. Even though the women's division is nowhere near where it needs to be, it's very, very lackluster now, but I do see Nyla Rose in a position to help get others over. We're going to get a lot of interim feuds for Nyla, but down the line, probably by the end of 2022, I do see her becoming the Women's World Champion again.
I can respect it. I can see that most definitely.
Are you still going with Nyla, though?
I still have to go with Nyla. I just think it makes more sense. I don't think it's Britt Baker's time right now. As a wrestling fan, we always have that gut instinct when it's somebody's time, and I just don't see it Britt Baker's time right now.
Not now. She needs, I said 4 months down the line. We have to see where she is at 4. We need to see where she is 4 months down the line. I said at Revolution. That's in February.
Yeah, so that's why I don't really see Sheeta retaining, because there's no really for her to really face anymore. She's beaten every heel really besides Nyla again. So I think you give it to Nyla, let her run through the competition, let Britt Baker, hone her skills a little bit on the outside, and then have somebody beat Rose. It might not be Thunder Rosa. It might be somebody like a Statlander. It might be somebody like it could be anybody who is deemed at that time to be the best women's wrestler in AEW. And then you can have Britt Baker come out and win it then. But I just don't see Sheeta retaining. I just don't see her going over Rose.
So we got 2 matches that we're going to be betting on. It's going to be a very interesting scenario when Stevie and Storms have our full gear watch along. Anyway, moving on to the next match, we got Chris Jericho versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And if MJF wins, he is in the Inner Circle. Now, this match probably has the most unpredictability with it. Actually, no. This is the second match with the most unpredictability. MJF and Chris Jericho, they have been one of the most entertaining parts about Dynamite. And I say entertaining in a good way, considering that we already know that AEW is built like a sport, which is the way that wrestling should be built like. But MJF and Jericho, they have been a very nice sense of comic relief, especially after that Broadway musical that we saw a couple weeks back. That was fantastic. And I've said this once, I'll say it again. This is probably the perfect bounce-back feud for MJF after his loss to Jon Moxley. And we do have to bring to light how much investment that AEW really has in MJF at such a young age. He has been on every single AEW pay-per-view all year. He beat Cody at Revolution. He beat Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing. Main evented All Out against Jon Moxley. And now he's in a match with Chris Jericho, of all people, at Full Gear. So MJF, he probably had the best year out of anyone in AEW not to win a single championship. And that is definitely saying something. So, as far as this match goes, there's a lot of routes that you can go here. We could have MJF win, join the Inner Circle, and we could possibly have MJF, like you said, destroying it from within. That could lead to a match and feud with Sammy Guevara, where Sammy possibly gets kicked out. We could see possibly MJF taking over the Inner Circle as the leader, and Chris Jericho gets kicked out. He goes away to tour with Fozzy. He could come back as a babyface, and he could feud with MJF. That could definitely be a route that they could take. Or we could possibly see MJF and Jericho as co-leaders, and they could have some disagreements, and then we could ultimately get a second match where we get MJF and Jericho, and the winner is the leader of the Inner Circle. So there's a lot of interesting routes that we could go here, and that's what makes this match really, really fun. This match is definitely going to be an old school type match. This is going to be a match similar to what we got with Cody and MJF. That was a very old school wrestling match back at Revolution, and Jericho is going to work the pace that Cody worked in that match back on February 29th. It's going to be very methodical. It's going to be a lot of great storytelling. We're probably going to get a lot of trash talking in the match, and after what happened this past Wednesday, it's definitely making me even more excited for MJF to show us that he's got that quote-unquote killer instinct in order to be in the Inner Circle. And I'm going with MJF to win here, and he is going to join the Inner Circle. I don't see any reason for Jericho to go over here, and it is definitely going to be a very, very, very interesting story to play out into the rest of 2020, going into 2021, and how things have gelled with Jericho and MJF. It's going to be a very, very interesting story to unfold and seeing which route they go, whether MJF truthfully causes any trouble internally inside the Inner Circle or not. But I'm going with MJF to win this match, and he will be joining the Inner Circle alongside Wardlow because they are a package deal, as Mr. Friedman says. Stevie, let me get your take on it.
Okay, we finally have an agreement on what I love MJF going over as well. I really don't get the purpose of this match, though, if I'm being honest. It seems like Chris Jericho really wants MJF in the Inner Circle, and of course MJF wants to be in the circle. So, like, why go against the man in the match? Just let him join. Like, I don't know. That's my mindset of it. Like, I understand, like, they probably wanted to get a match on the card, probably have MJF on the card. But if Jericho wants him in the Inner Circle, and MJF wants to be in the Inner Circle, I just don't see why Jericho just can't put him in the circle. Like, yes, I want you in the circle. You're best for business. Like, I don't see it, but I do see it be an old school match. I see it being slow. Some people who like the high speed type of wrestling, flips and dives, they're probably gonna call this match boring. But I think it's gonna be a really good technical match. Bell to Bell is gonna be a nice long match, and I see MJF going over. I see him going over, and for a couple months, it's gonna be okay. He's not gonna be causing any trouble. I don't see him doing that right away, but I do see when Jericho starts to leave for Fozzy, I think he's going to just hand the reins over to MJF, and then MJF is going to take that time, since Jericho's not around to do anything, to blow up the Inner Circle from within. And I think it starts with Sammy, like I said. I think him and Sammy have a lot, start butting heads a lot, and then MJF says, well, I'm the leader, so it's not enough room for me and you. I don't really want you in here. If you have a match, if loser has to leave the Inner Circle, I see Sammy losing, and I just see MJF destroying it from within. And then once Jericho gets done with his tour at Fozzy, he comes back as a face. He sees that the Inner Circle is in shambles. He gets mad at MJF, and then they have a second match for the leader of the Inner Circle, or just to have a blow-off match in general.
It should be an interesting scenario, because right now, with what Chris Jericho has done, it's so hard for me to picture him as a face. I feel as though that's definitely a likely route that they could go, but it's just so hard for me to picture Chris Jericho as a face because of how well he has played this heel gimmick ever since the start of All Elite Wrestling, if you know what I'm saying.
I wouldn't say he'd go full-fledged face. I'm not saying he's going to go John Cena mode. Or
like anti-hero?
Yeah, I see him going as a tweener. I see him going as he's a face, like he's beloved, but he still has his little heelish way, like he still low blows here and there, or he still does cheat cut. He does cheat a little bit still, but I don't see him going fully face. But I see him as the face in that feud.
Yeah, because right now, like, you take a look at MJF, in no way, shape, or form is MJF a baby face. MJF is the biggest prick. MJF is the biggest prick, not named DJ Storms, of course, on the face of the earth. So
yeah, he's a natural born heel. I hope AEW doesn't do what WWE did with the Big Show and Randy Orton, especially Randy Orton, when they turn their own face. When we all know they're really heels. Like, Randy Orton does not scream face to me at all. He screams natural born heel. And I hope AEW doesn't try to flip MJF to a face one day, because I just don't see him fitting his character at all.
I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing that. But we got MJF across the board here. We're going to move on to Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page, World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. This match right here, for anyone that's looking for straight up wrestling, no crazy over the top gimmicks, no shenanigans, no kerfuffles, no brouhahas. We're looking at straight up wrestling right here. So at the end of the day, I see this match being the match of the night. We are looking at two world-class athletes right here, especially after what they did in their respective semifinals a few weeks back. this match is definitely going to be a very, 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 very tough match to top for any match that's on the card. And we've got multiple potential match of the year candidates on the card. So it is definitely going to be an interesting scenario to see how this one plays out. And I know that people are high on Adam Hangman Page. A lot of people, including myself. But right now, Kenny Omega is on the verge of going on the heel run of his life. And on the last episode of Dynamite for 2020, I believe it's going to be probably a week before Christmas. I don't think they're going to do anything like 2 days before Christmas, or they're going to do anything like 2 days before New Year's. I feel as though they'll probably do those as taped episodes. But I believe on the 16th of December, will be the last live Dynamite. And on the 16th of December, that is going to be where we will see Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega on Dynamite. And we will see Jon Moxley lose the World Championship to Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega is going to go into 2021 as the World Champion. And he is going to absolutely run roughshod over everyone. We are going to see 138% cleaner. And it is going to be a very, very, very big 2021 for Mr. Kenny Omega. But ultimately, it will result in Adam Hangman Page becoming the world champion. It is going to make the second match, which I believe will take place at either Double or Nothing or All Out of 2021. And if I'm a betting man, I would definitely do it at All Out, considering that is their WrestleMania. So we could get a big moment for Adam Hangman Page. The next match that we will see for the World Championship between Page and Omega, it's going to make Page's win that much more special, as well as the cleaner character is going to make Page's win that much more special. This match is definitely going to be the match of the night. Match of the night for me, at least, in my honest opinion. And I see Kenny Omega winning this tournament. He is going to go on to challenge Jon Moxley, and he will become the AEW World Champion. Stevie, let me hear it.
You gonna hate me, man. Right now, I know your nickname is Mr. Controversial, but right now, that's really gonna be me right now, because I'm really gonna go against the grain. I have Paige winning. Now, hear me out before I get killed in the comments. For everybody.
No. I'm listening.
Hear me out. So, AEW has prided itself on nothing's really predictable. We haven't really been able to predict anything so far. And if we be able to see anything, is that the Elite are selfless. They want to get the younger talent over. They want to get other talent over, because Kenny's a main man. Cody's a made man. The Young Bucks are made man. They don't really need belts right now. And I was really, at first, I was with everybody else. I was going with Kenny to win. I thought Kenny was going to win. I even pitched to you the idea of Kenny winning in on the last show of Dynamite, actually taking off of Moxley and just running a rough shot. I pitched that to you. But I was really watching the interview he did, what Kenny did when he was in his house. And the questions he was asked and the way he was answering them, with his cocky attitude, really threw me, because you got to really think about it. Really think. Kenny hasn't really done anything hellish. All he's done is just have Justin Roberts announce his accolades. And he's been a little cocky lately, but that don't mean...
Well, that could be saved for Full Gear.
Exactly. So that means I think you're a cocky bastard. You're not a heel, you're just cocky. Like, that's what it is. So he was asked one question. He was asking, I think it was Tony Schiavone, he was saying that, how does Kenny feel that that people think the tournament is predictable? And Kenny stopped it, and he said, but is it really predictable? Like, you really got to think about who's in the match. And he was really asking, like, is it really predictable? And then, at first, I didn't really catch him. I'm like, okay, he's just talking. But then he started talking about his accolades even more. He said, now, look at all the tournaments I've been in. Can you really bet against me in the tournament? And everybody knows Kenny Omega. He's been great at tournaments. I think he's won almost every tournament he's been in. He's had 5-star classes in him. He's the tournament master. He's tournament guy. But I think he's going to get a little bit too cocky. And I think Paige is actually going to beat him. And I think Kenny actually attacks Paige after the match. Paige is going to go up to Kenny. He's going to go try to give him a handshake because they're old tag team partner. They had a great match. Yeah, I think Kenny's going to shake his hand, but I think he's going to hit her with a dragon suplex. I think he's going to turn heel, fully heel by attacking Paige and losing it. And then I see him just going roughshod over all the talent AEW. I think Paige is going to go through his thing. I think he's going to actually beat Jon Moxley and be world champion and lead into 2021. But I see Paige, I see Kenny on the other side just tearing through guys and actually being a heel and being a cleaner. And then, like you said, around Double or Nothing or around that time, I see them going at it one more time, and I see it more as the cleaner, like 100% cleaner versus an overpaid, because we all know how overpaid is. And I think that match is just going to be so great in the main event.
Okay. So you see instead of Omega being the one to put over Paige, you see Paige being the one to put over Omega at all. You see the roles reversed. So instead of it going Moxley, Omega, Paige, you see it going Moxley, Paige, Omega.
Yes, sir. Because you really got to think about it. Paige is really over. He's when we had fans, he was over his hill. And I think it's time for him to actually capitalize on that. I don't think Kenny needs the title right now. We all know how good Kenny is. Kenny can lose 8 straight matches and we'll still be he's Kenny Omega. He's Kenny Omega. He's going to be world champion. But he doesn't need it at the moment. We've seen the Young Bucks. We're going to see them. We've seen them not challenge for titles like that. And them not going to challenge for titles. We've seen Cody do it. I think Kenny's going to follow Super right now. I think he's not going to win the title right now. I think he's going to let Paige get over and get the title more over. And now I think he's going to take it from him later in 2021.
You see, I feel as though they want to wait on Paige, and they want to wait until we get an arena full of fans because they want that big reaction for when Paige eventually becomes the world champion. That's exactly why I saw Kenny winning this. And then later in 2021, that's when I saw Paige winning it, considering that in 2021, hopefully everything will be a little bit more dialed down. Things will be more calm. We'll have a vaccine. Fans will be back. And then that's when Paige will have his big moment. That's what I feel as though they're waiting on. They're waiting on fans for Paige to get his big moment. I'm still going to go with Kenny Omega. They could do that, but I'm still going to go with Kenny Omega there. Any final thoughts on this match before we move on?
I can see Kenny. I can see it go anywhere. This is the most unpredictable match to me. I can see it go anyway. I just don't think they're a wait because we don't know how we look in 2021. We don't know if we still have fans or a full audience, and we can't have a full audience if we do get to that point. It'd just be the same match, but just more on the line. It'd be better. Don't get it wrong, but I think they'll do it now because when the fans will come, Kenny winning would just erupt everybody because everybody loves Kenny. Even though he's a heel, everybody loves Kenny. Him actually winning his first world title over in American soil is going to be great, and I think everybody's going to pop for it.
No, I feel you there. All right, so next we got Cody versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Cody versus Darby 4. This time, the TNT Championship is on the line. Now, some people say that this one could swing either way, which is true. It's true. I do have a feeling this one could swing either way, especially considering how big Cody put Darby over this past Wednesday on Dynamite. It's definitely going to be a very nice dynamic, and it's going to be a very nice feel. And I do see a lot of false finishes in this match, but considering how Cody's been, and like I said earlier on, considering how Brody is still waiting in the wings, I really don't see Cody losing the championship. I do feel as though this could possibly be their best match, Cody and Darby, considering their last 3 matches. Obviously, we know how great they were. The first match, obviously, we know that was all about story and all about getting Darby Allin over. Their second match was probably the best. The second match was probably the best overall match out of all 3 of their matches. The third one was a great match, but that one kind of had a shitty ending. Now the fourth one, I know that now we have the TNT Championship on the line, and everyone expects this match to be the match that Darby finally gets it, and Darby finally gets his victory over Cody, and not only does Darby get his victory over Cody, but he finally gets the TNT Championship. I feel as though if this was in a scenario where Brody was not waiting in the wings, I would absolutely agree with everyone else. But based off of that, I just can't see Cody losing the championship at this rate because of the constant teases of Brody Lee coming back. So I do see Cody retaining the TNT Championship here. We could see Brody return at Full Gear, if we're going to be quite honest with you. And that's actually one of my predictions. I do see Brody Lee returning at Full Gear, and I do see Brody Lee coming back and looking to exact his revenge on Cody, possibly getting his rematch later on in the month of November, and possibly regaining the TNT Championship. So I'm going with Cody to retain over Darby Allin. It could be their best match together, and truthfully, I hope it is. I know for a fact that Cody and Darby are going to deliver. I got Cody retaining the TNT Championship. Let me hear it, Stevie.
I agree with you. I have Cody retaining. I actually don't have Cody going against Brody Lee when he returns. I think Cody wins this, and I think he goes through a couple more matches. I think he goes against Sammy. I think he goes against Cage and Starks. And,
yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that promo. I forgot about that promo. Yes.
I see him go. I see next week him probably going against Starks or Cage because they did have a good point. And then I actually see him dropping it to Lance Archer at Double or Nothing. I see Lance Archer getting it. It's time for Lance Archer to get some gold. I think he beats Cody. And I think after that, Lance Archer, he runs strong. And then I think Darby takes it from Lance Archer. I think Darby needs to take the belt from a big heel, like a monster heel, somebody like Brody Lee or Lance Archer or Brian Cage or somebody of that nature, somebody who's a monster of a heel, someone who's way bigger, way stronger. So it just be more of a happy ending with a victory. I see him beating Lance Archer actually probably at Full Gear or around this time, Revolution, anywhere around there, anything around that area. But I actually see Lance Archer actually taking the belt off of Cody at Double or Nothing.
For me, I feel as though Brody could win the title back, and then at Revolution in February, that could be when Darby Allin wins the TNT Championship if they want to play their cards right. And then Darby Allin could have like a 6-month reign with the championship, and Lance Archer could end up taking the title off of Darby at Double or Nothing. And then Darby Allin can move on to the World Championship title scene in 2022 and feud with guys like MJF. Because MJF and Darby, that's definitely a match that I am very much interested in seeing, considering how great they are at such a young age, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they can go that way too. This match has a lot of turns it can take. People really not thinking outside the bubble. One prediction that I actually kind of had that I kind of see happening is they keep talking about who's next and who's going to make the next big impact, because we always have somebody make a big impact. If they do want Darby to win, I could see somebody like Macadona coming in and causing Cody the match. I could see Macadona coming in, making an impact, having the heel, and then feud with Cody and Nightmare Family. That's the only way I see Darby winning. It's a few rumors that are saying Sting is going to be there. I don't really see Sting coming. If Sting does come, I do see him being a mentor for Darby, kind of like a manager type of role, somebody he can go to when he needs help, stuff like that. But I do see Cody going over. I honestly see Lee coming back and feuding with Paige. I don't think that rivalry's over. They had a good dynamic there. They work really well together. I can see Brody Lee going to the main event spot. I see him going against Paige for one of his first defenses. And then going back to the TNT title picture. But I see Cody retaining it all the way.
I definitely see Brody as a world champion in the future. Probably in 2022, depending on how the landscape is. Because I see the world championship going from Moxley to Omega, then to Paige, then to MJF. And then MJF, you have like multiple options depending on which type of babyface you really want to push into the World Championship title scene. It's definitely a toss-up. It really is definitely a toss-up.
I think if you do go the order you said with it goes from Moxley to Omega to Page to MJF, I think Darby has to be MJF. I think Darby, it's gonna be a time for Darby. It's gonna be fans there. Darby's really over. MJF is really, he's not a big man, but he's really like, he states his dominance over Darby. He thinks Darby's this little weak kid.
Yeah, he's a dominant heel.
Yeah, this 80-pound emo kid, basically. And he's not going to give Darby a chance in hell. And I think Darby will upset MJF if we do go the route you said. And then I think he'll probably shift to Brody Lee or somebody like that, or like a Lance Archer.
That's definitely an interesting route right there, because you can go from MJF to Darby, and that could be Darby Allin's Daniel Bryan-like moment, and then you can have a Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar type moment with Lance Archer and Darby Allin for the World Championship. That's definitely going to be a very, 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 very nice scenario if it does play out that way.
Yeah, if it goes that way, it's either going to be three guys. I think it's going to be a big man. It's either going to be Lance Archer, it's going to be Brody Lee, or it's going to be Brian Cage. I don't see Brian Cage being pushed right now. He's not doing anything bad. He's not being not used well. But I don't see him factor into the title picture in 2022. But it's either going between one of them three to take the title off of Darby.
I feel as though like Brian Cage right now, they knew that he really wasn't going to be doing anything major, so that's why they gave him the FTW Championship, and that's why they paired him with Taz, just so he would have something to do. He would be in a decent position, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm actually a big advocate of him being a tag team with Ricky Starks. I think they work really good as a tag team. Their styles mesh perfectly. Cage is more the big man, the strong suit. Starks is really the pretty boy, the one who can really go in the ring. I think they match perfectly. I think they can actually be a future tag team champion if everything lines up. I see them being like somebody like a Jurassic Express or the Best Friends for the belts. I can see them doing something big. So they have a lot of options with Cage. I don't see Cage factor into a singles belt anytime right now. I see him actually being in a tag team somewhat soon. So, yeah.
It's interesting you brought up the Tag Team Championships, because next we're actually talking about that. We're going to talk about FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And if the Young Bucks do not win, they will not challenge for the World Tag Team titles ever again. Now, this is the match, to me, with the most unpredictability, right in front of MJF and Chris Jericho. So, obviously, this match came about because of what's been going on in FTR's camp and how the Bucks have just completely switched their attitude. It is very, 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 very tough to picture the Bucks not challenging for the AEW World Tag Team titles ever again. And let me tell you something, if they do, like we've said before, the Elite have just been very, very, very selfless. And if they do sacrifice that opportunity to never challenge for the world titles ever again, that right there really does show you how much they really care about getting other talent over. And that's something that you really have to respect. Anyone that denies that the Elite are selfless, I'm telling you, you're just a delusional fucking asshole at that rate. But FTR and the Bucks definitely going to be a potential match of the year candidate. That to me is probably the only match that has the potential of topping Page and Omega. So it is definitely going to be a very, 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 very tense situation, a very tense back and forth between FTR and the Bucks. Although I really thought that they were going to wait. I really thought that they were going to wait until they have fans back, like a full-blown arena of fans for the Bucks and FTR to go one-on-one for the tag team titles at a pay-per-view, especially considering the fact that this match realistically could main event the pay-per-view. And I do believe, I had it in my mind that one day we were going to see FTR and the Bucks in the main event of a pay-per-view for the World Tag Team titles, which I do believe will happen one of these days. But But now they're doing it at Full Gear. And it's for the AEW World Tag Team titles. It could very much swing either way. Although I don't really know why you would put the titles on FTR just to have them lose it 2 months later. I thought that we were going to get the Best Friends versus FTR for the World Tag Team titles. But they ended up doing that at the anniversary show. So it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. It is very much a toss-up, and I really don't have a straightforward answer for you. It could really swing either way. They could give it to FTR, and if they do give it to FTR, I see FTR going into Revolution and dropping it to Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express, they have been winning recently on Dark, and they've been built up quite nicely. They haven't had a World Tag Team title match in a few months as of lately. They actually just got their first ever World Tag Team title match all the way back in August, I believe, which was Tag Team Appreciation Night against Omega and Page when they were the champs. So, if anything, I feel as though they're building up for Jurassic Express to be the Knights in Shining Armor, the big baby faces, to end up taking the titles off of FTR at Revolution, and then we can end up seeing Miro and Kip Sabian by All Out take the World Tag Team titles off of Jurassic Express. Because you know that they got plans for Miro. You know that Miro they got big plans for Miro. And before he branches away from Kip, you know that they're going to push Miro and Kip hard. Especially after how great he looked in his match with Trent this past, oh my God, he looked great. So, they could go that route. They could have the Bucks win the championships. I don't know. There's been a report going around that Matt Jackson is supposedly wrestling with a slight tear in his ACL, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been having some trouble there. I'm not sure if that's per storyline. I'm not sure if that's real. I saw it on a report tweet from Fightful, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure how true that really is. But that's something I thought I'd bring to light here. They could have the Bucks win and vacate the championships because Matt Jackson can't compete. That's a potential route that they can go, but I don't know if you're just going to give the Bucks the championships just for the simple fact that you're just going to give the Bucks the championships, even though FTR only held it for 63 days. Maybe we do see the Bucks give up their opportunity to compete for the World Tag Team titles. You never know. It really is a toss-up, and even though it's kind of a shaky scenario, I'm going to go with FTR. I'm going to go with FTR to retain, and I'm going to go with FTR to go into 2021 with the World Tag Team titles, and I do see FTR versus Jurassic Express by Revolution at the end of February. Let me hear it, Stevie.
I agree with you. I don't think it's much of a toss-up as you say. I think it's pretty straightforward that FTR is going to win. I did a little research on the Bucks, and I found out a lot about them. And I really realized that I don't think they want or need the AEW Tag Team Champions. They've been wrestling pro for 16 years. They've been Tag Team Champions in every promotion: Ring of Honor, TNA, AWS, AAA, EWF, FWE, FSW. They've been Tag Team Champions almost everywhere they went. They've the most established tag team, probably one of the best tag teams to ever do it. I don't think they need the AEW Tag Team Champions to verify that. I don't think they need to vindicate them. Just like Cody doesn't need the world title to vindicate himself. He knows he's a good wrestler. He doesn't need to put himself at the top of the card to know it. I see the Bucks getting more talent over. FTR has really been misused and really been put under the radar for the past couple of years because they haven't been really used on the main roster. And when they have, it's been short spurts or it's been jokes. I see them actually getting a big chance here, getting a big rub, and I see them actually going over Young Bucks in a really, really great match that's long overdue. They've been teasing this match for so long. FTR is actually going to play on Fuck the Revival, so that's a good tease right there. So I see this match just being really good. I see it being really great.
Now that you think about that, maybe it isn't so much of a toss-up. Maybe the Bucks do go the Cody route. And you know what? If that's the case, then you really got to have a lot of respect for him. Got to have a lot of respect for Nick and Matt Jackson sacrificing that to get others over. Bucks,
You
very,
do.
very selfless individuals.
Yeah, you really do. It's gonna be hard not to see the Bucks ever challenge for the belts again, because they're really good at ladder matches. I would love to see them in a ladder match with FTR or somebody for a tag team title match, but I just don't see them winning. I don't see them taking it. FTR has been so hot; they haven't taken the loss yet. I think when they do take a loss, it has to be against a team on the rise, and that is Jurassic Express. I see them going against Best Friends one more time just to get them one more nice ring under their belt. But I do see Jurassic Express taking the belt off of them as well.
And we got, by the way, Tully's actually banned from ringside, so it's definitely going to make the match even more intriguing. We got Tully banned from ringside, and the fact that if the Bucks lose, they're not challenging for the titles again.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any sneaky things going on here. I think this is going to be a plain wrestling match. I think the build builds itself. You don't want to... Everybody's wanted this match for so long. Everybody's been clamoring for this match for so long. We found out that FTR was actually going to be free agents. We automatically thought, oh my God, we're going to see FTR versus the Bucks. We already knew it as soon as they got released. So I don't think they're going to have any distraction. I don't think they're going to have any run-ins. I think it's going to be a straightforward, clean match. FTR is going to beat them in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3.
Very, very true. And finally, we got Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match for the AEW World Championship. Now, realistically speaking, let's be honest here, this really just kind of fell in their lap. I do have a feeling that we were going to get Moxley and Kingston at some point down the line, but I did not see it being for the AEW World Championship. This clearly fell in their lap, considering what happened at the Casino Battle Royal, and then they had Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley on Dynamite, which only went about 10 minutes, which resulted in Eddie Kingston passing out. He didn't tap out. He didn't get pinned. So at the end of the day, that right there was their key to having Eddie Kingston getting another World Championship title match. So realistically, again, it fell in their lap, but they capitalized on it, just like WWE kind of capitalized on Kofi Mania. They capitalized on Eddie Kingston and the fact that he was never eliminated, and they made this into a very, very, very personal rivalry, and they did it in such a short amount of time. I don't think I've been this invested in a match in such a short amount of time in a while. And that just goes to show you how good Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley really are on the microphone, where they just go out there and they literally grab the viewer by the throat, figuratively speaking, obviously, with their words. And it is impossible to not listen when these two are speaking. I mean, just look at the segment that we got this past Wednesday on Dynamite. It was perhaps the best 3-minute segment of the fucking year. 3 minutes is all it took.
It was great.
So at the end of the day, they have done an excellent job at making us care about this and rolling with what they were pretty much just given accidentally with Moxley and Eddie Kingston. So it is definitely going to be a very, very, very personal match. This right here, this is going to be more of a story. This is going to be their Roman Reigns Jey Uso match, if you know what I mean, from Hell in a Cell. This is going to be the Roman Jey Uso match, and this is definitely going to have a big impact on Jon Moxley's World Championship title reign. It's not going to be his best match. I don't see it being his best match, but I do see this being a great match. It's definitely going to be possibly Eddie Kingston's best match in AEW. So far, Eddie Kingston's best match in AEW has been with Cody, but I see this one taking the cake with Jon Moxley. In some way, shape, or form, I know my man Joseph Conlon's watching. I'm sorry, Joe. Eddie Kingston ain't winning the World Championship. Jon Moxley will be retaining the World Championship some way, somehow, and he will be going on to drop that title to the cleaner, Kenny Omega, just so you know. So, Stevie, we've come to the end. We've reached the final curtain. Let me hear your stance on the final match, the main event of Full Gear, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, I Quit match for the AEW World Championship.
have to disagree with you. I don't think Eddie's gonna win. I'm not gonna take it that far, but I think this will be Jon Moxley's best match. It's gonna be it's personal. It's not really gonna be the best in the ring. I told you it's not gonna be any headlocks or any wrestling moves. I think it's gonna be a straight up fight, and I think it's gonna be one of his best matches just because of the storytelling and how deep the rivalry really goes. Like it's been a short time on TV, but if you really want to look at it in the way AEW has portrayed it, it's really been a rivalry in the making for years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Eddie's always had this animosity towards Jon ever since he left for the World Entertainment, like he likes to say. Jon, he's not like Eddie Kingston right now. He said he's gonna beat Eddie Kingston. He gets his old best friend back. He doesn't like the bitter, the why it should be me, the whiny version of Eddie Kingston. I honestly see this being both of their best matches. I see Eddie losing two ways. I see him either writing his blood, like I told you, on the mat and I quit, or I see them going with his mom. On Wednesday, they made a big emphasis on his mom, and Eddie was real upset by his mom. He's been very vocal that he loves his mom and that he listens to everything she says, and that wherever she says goes, and he doesn't argue with it. I see Jon knowing that Eddie's not going to quit and that he's going to have to kill Eddie for Eddie to quit. So I see Eddie's mom sitting kind of front row or kind of close, and she's seeing her son just being destroyed and on the verge of just death, as they're going to portray it. And she's going to make Eddie say the words "I quit." He's going to say I think he's going to say the word "I quit" for his mother, or my slice of just suggested in blood. But I do see his mom telling Eddie to say "I quit," and Eddie does do what his mom says "I quit."
That would be some intense shit right there if they do go forth with that. Now I'm hoping they do that shit. Now I'm hoping they do that shit with his mom.
Because you got to think about it. Jon Moxley's not losing. He's definitely not saying "I quit." Eddie Kingston is that guy he's that guy you see that goes to the bar, has 5 shots, and then just beats up everybody at the bar. He's that type of guy. He's that type of guy that never quits, that never stops, that just is full go. And I don't see anything that Jon Moxley can do that Eddie Kingston would just say "I quit" to. He even kept saying on Wednesday, "You're going to have to kill me. You're going to have to kill me." Because he just won't say "I quit." And the one thing that's always been a factor in Eddie Kingston's career is his mother. He even said that his mother is the reason he even went to AEW. She said that he wouldn't be happy in WWE and that he'd be happy in AEW, so he went to AEW. He told us that he never questions his mother. His mother runs everything. His mother says anything he does. He broke up with a girlfriend because his mom didn't like her. I see her sitting somewhere near, or I see her being in the back and she comes out. I see her telling Eddie he needs to quit, he needs to save himself, and then Eddie breaks down in tears, and then he says "I quit," and then Jon Moxley leaves as the world champion.
That would be good. Now I'm definitely hoping that one happens right there. That right there. I think that I know that people are watching me. I know people from WWE are watching me because these cocksuckers can't help but watch me. But I hope that people are from AEW are watching us right now because that right there is going to be huge. But ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, I think
I'm sorry. Continue.
I would just say I agree with you. It's going to be the Roman Reigns, Jey Uso rivalry. It's going to be all storytelling. It's not going to be any wrestling maneuver. It's going to be just like how Jey Uso and Roman Reigns was in the Hell in a Cell. We didn't see not one clinch up, one headlock. It was a lot of I'm going to beat you up and then you're going to be down for a couple minutes and then I'm going to pick you back up and you're going to do the same thing with me. It's going to be a back and forth brutal match, and I just see it being a storyteller that just puts it over the edge.
But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. I greatly appreciate it. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Stevie,
Oh, man.
where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at King_Seth3. You can find me on Twitter at LilStevie317. And that's pretty much all I'm on. I'm not really on anything else right now.
I'll be sure to put his social media links in the description. Please go check him out. He is awesome. Help him gain some more followers on Twitter and Instagram. Dude, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your night to come and chill with me. and predict some AEW. It was great to finally have you on. I greatly appreciate you in every sense of the word. I greatly appreciate the support that you have given me. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your work schedule as well, because I know you were at work one of those days and you were watching a live LFU. I remember that. Trust me, I remember. You stayed for the entire thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, you've been great. Ever since I met you on Twitter that one day, I didn't really know who you was, but I started seeing you in the chat, and I started seeing you actually have great ideas and really pitching really great ideas, and you having the same mindset I had. So I went away in my way and texted you personally. I think I texted you personally.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. And ever since, we've just clicked. We've had a couple phone calls that just go over 2 hours because we mix well. And I'm just happy that you gave me the opportunity. I'm happy that you actually see stuff in me to actually think that I'd be a great co-host for this. I'm thankful for the opportunity, and anytime you need me, I'm most definitely gonna be able to do it for you.
We go together like tacos and Tuesdays, bro.
Oh yeah, man, peanut butter jelly. Come on, man.
Come on, man. We go together like dumplings and fried rice.
Man, chicken noodle soup. Come on, man.
Chicken noodle soup. All right, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he's Lil Stevie. I'm DJ Storms, and this has been The Rundown. I will catch you tomorrow for the live LFU. Stay safe, wear your fucking mask, and remember, DJ Storms rules all, baby.